Today I'm going to be talking about solving absolute value equations. Now, on your previous night's homework, you actually solved the basic absolute value equations where you set up the equation with two different equations equaling a positive and a negative number, and you got two different answers. So we're going to build from that and do a little bit more challenging problems. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is writing an absolute value equation. Now, I already give you the solution, so we're going to be going backwards. We're going to go to the solution to write the equation, and there's a couple steps to this, okay? So if I have x equals -6 and x equals 10 as my solutions, we need to find two pieces of information. We need to find the middle, or the average of two numbers, and then the distance from the middle to the solution. So this is what I mean. To find the middle of two numbers, we find the average. So we do a -6 plus 10, and of course we divide that by 2. So we get 4 over 2. So we get 2 as the middle. All right? And now the distance from 2 and 10 is 8. So how we're going to solve this is we're going to go absolute value of x minus 2 equals 8. So the distance goes on the outside, the middle goes on the inside. Of course, since the middle is a positive 2, we change it to a -2. We flip the signs. Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay, let's do a -10 plus a -5, divide that by 2. So we get a -15 over 2. So this is our middle. And then it's easier if we put this into a fraction, -7.5. And so the distance between the middle and let's say -10 or -5 is a 2.5. And remember, distance is always positive because it's like on a number line, the spaces between -5 and -7.5 are 2.5 spaces. So we go 5, 6, 7, and then a half. So our equation is going to be the absolute value of x plus 7.5, because remember we always change the sign for the middle number, equals 2.5. And that's our equation. So those are the two pieces that we need for those. Okay? Now the next one is a little bit more advanced. We now have absolute values on both sides of the equation, okay? But when we have that, we solve it the same way. We split it into two different equations. So we have 2c plus 8 equals 10c, and then 2c plus 8 equals a -10c. So now we're going to solve. Subtract, 8 equals 8c, so c equals 1. Subtract, 8 equals a -12c, divide, and c will equal a -2/3. Okay? And always make sure you plug this back into your calculator. Oh, that's a 1, not 11. C equals a 1. Okay, make sure you plug this back in your calculator and make sure that the solution checks out if it's correct. Okay, now for this next one, same thing. 3x minus 4 equals 3x minus 5. And then 3x minus 4 equals, and when you put the negative in front of the second one, make sure we put parentheses because the negative goes to the entire expression, okay? Now the first one, let's subtract the 3x. And we get -4 equals -5. Well, we can stop right there. That is not true. That is not a solution, so we can stop at that one. So we're only going to have possibly one solution after this. So let's do the next one. We have to make sure to distribute the negative. So we have 3x minus 4 equals -3x plus 5. Add the 3x. So we have 6x minus 4 equals a 5. Now at the 4, 6x equals 9, divide by 6, and x equals 3/2. And we plug it back in, make sure it checks out. It does, and we've got our solution. So for this one, we only had one solution for this. Okay, now our very last problem is a word problem. It says write an absolute value equation. In a dance competition, the minimum length of a routine is 4 minutes. The maximum length of a routine is 5 minutes. Write an absolute value equation that represents the minimum and maximum lengths. Well, this is just like the same ones that we did at the very first. So we are between 4 and 5. Those are our two solutions. So we're going to find the middle of that. So we're going to add 4 and 5, divide by 2. So we get 9/2, which is 4.5, okay? If we look at the middle, we have to find our distance. And our distance from 4.5 to 5, or 4.5 to 4, is 0.5, is our distance. So this is going to be absolute value of x minus 4.5 equals 0.5. And we have our answer.